Good day everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today let's talk of Mamta Kalia's poem titled After 8 Years of Marriage. After 8 years of marriage, published in 1970. Mamta Kalia, born in 1940. Mamta Kalia is a contemporary Indian poet, playwright and a novelist known for her bold and realistic portrayal of middle-class Indian life, especially from a woman's perspective. Her poetry often challenges patriarchal norms, social expectations and the struggles of modern women. Mamta Kalia's poem After 8 Years of Marriage was first published in her English poetry collection titled Tribute to Papa and Other Poems, published in 1970. After 8 Years of Marriage is a confessional poem that explores the disillusionment and emotional struggles of a woman in a long-term marriage. It provides a realistic and an unfiltered glimpse into the complexities of married life, contrasting romantic expectations with the harsh realities. Summary of the poem. The poem reflects the thoughts and emotions of a married woman after spending 8 years in a relationship that has lost its initial charm. The speaker begins by reflecting on the changes in her marriage, which has become mundane and routine over the years. She expresses dissatisfaction and frustration, indicating that love and excitement have faded, replaced by responsibilities and expectations. The poem highlights the emotional distance between the husband and wife, suggesting that communication and affection have diminished. The speaker questions whether marriage is truly fulfilling or just an obligation, emphasizing how society forces women to adjust and compromise. The poem does not necessarily end with a resolution, but it leaves a lingering sense of disillusionment and a quiet acceptance of marital reality. Characters in the poem. First of all, we have the speaker, that is a wife character. She is disillusioned with marriage and no longer experiences the romantic ideal she once imagined. She represents many Indian women who feel trapped in routine domestic life. She is reflective, critical of societal norms, and a yearning for deeper emotional fulfillment. Next up, we have the husband character. Though not directly present, he is depicted as emotionally distant and passive. He is not abusive or cruel, but indifferent, leading to a sense of loneliness for the wife. His presence highlights the gap between traditional gender roles and emotional needs in marriage. The next character is society as an invisible character. This poem subtly critiques social expectations placed on women in marriage. Society expects wives to adjust and enter, reinforcing gender-based compromises. Now let's talk of the themes in this poem. Disillusionment in marriage. The poem highlights the contrast between pre-marriage romantic dreams and post-marriage reality. Love, which once felt magical, has now become routine and unfulfilling. Next theme, emotional isolation. The speaker feels lonely and disconnected despite being in a marriage. This represents the gap between physical presence and emotional absence in relationships. Female identity and marriage. The poem questions whether marriage defines a woman's happiness or merely traps her in societal expectations. It challenges the idea that a woman's life should revolve around her husband and a family. The next theme, that is the burden of social expectations. Women are expected to accept marriage as their destiny and to remain content even if they feel unfulfilled. The poem critiques how women's emotions and desires are often overlooked in patriarchal societies. Setting of the poem. The poem is set in a domestic space, reflecting the monotony and predictability of marriage life. The lack of vivid descriptions suggests an emotional rather than a physical setting, one of confinement and repetition. Criticism and analysis. Feminist perspective. The poem is a feminist critique of marriage, questioning its role in a woman's happiness and a personal growth. It reflects the struggles of women who feel emotionally neglected in traditional marriages. Realistic and a confessional style. Mamta Kalia's poetry is known for its direct conversational tone, making it relatable. The confessional style allows the speaker to express raw emotions without glorifying marriage. The contrast between expectation and reality. The poem challenges the romanticized notion of marriage often promoted by society. Instead of a happy ever after, it represents marriage as a complex, sometimes unfulfilling institution. Subtle but a powerful critique. Unlike outright rebellion, the poem expresses quiet dissatisfaction, making it more impactful. The speaker does not demand a revolution, but exposes the truth many women silently experience. Now let's discuss the main lines from the poem. After 8 years of marriage, the first time I visited my parents, they asked, "Are you happy? Tell us." The poet recalls how her parents, unaware of her inner turmoil, simply ask if she is happy after years of marriage. I wanted to tell them that I was happy on Tuesday, I was unhappy on Wednesday. She wishes to express the emotional instability and a fluctuating happiness within her married life. I was happy one day at 8 o'clock. I was most unhappy by 8:15. The line highlights how quickly her emotions change, showing the fragility and unpredictability of her marital experience. I wanted to tell them how I wept in bed all night once and struggled hard from hurting myself. This line reveals her deep despair and a mental anguish, hinting at a depression and a emotional suffocation. So I swallowed everything and smiled a smile of great content. Despite her pain, she hides her suffering behind a forced smile, conforming to social expectations of a happy wife.